What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we got some red to go over. I lost $5,000 in just 2 trading days. You can see on the start of the month, start of the week, Monday and Wednesday, just losing 3 grand and 2 grand. Still ending the week slightly red, but able to recover it, some of it on that Thursday. But I really want to go over just the 2 red days themselves. What caused that red day and why it was so much. Because if you look at my month, I don't have any 3,000 green days or 2,000 green days to combat those red days. So my red days are too large, right? I'm going to have red days. I mean, I lost $250, $1,000. Those are controllable. Maybe the thousand's a little bit too high even. But just in general, it was these 2 days that really just kind of wrecked the month and made it the $500 in profit that it was. Or if I could have just limited the downside on these red days at, let's say, 500 apiece, that's 4 grand I could have back towards my P&L. So it really does make a huge swing. Just 2 trading days, completely shifting the entire outlook of a month. But let's look at the trades there, because it wasn't my best performance. Clearly, we're going to have red days, but if it's that large of a red day, it was probably my fault. So let's take a look at this first one. You can see a pretty weird open with us holding the bottom, break for a new high, back to the new low a day. It pulls back. It respects the opening range low, though. And you see the low a day view outbreak. That is my sell signal. You can see the stop loss is probably just too tight, right? It's 8 points. I probably should have widened it up to this structure point and at least would have survived that pullback. Instead, I get stopped out. But then once it breaks back below again, all right, I put it too tight of a stop. I'm stopped out early. Let me get back in before this move happens without me now. I add back in, and I get stopped out again. So now I've taken 2 losses when that probably could have just been one controlled loss, sitting through that chop as my trade was never invalidated yet. So that's poor performance on my part. Going too tight of a stop and maybe adding in too soon before real new information came in, like a new low a day, getting away from this consolidation area or anything like that. And this is where it spirals. Since taking those two very quick back to back losing shorts when nothing really even happened, you can see the add in here, pretty much the same price as the first one. Now using this new structure as my stop loss, it goes a little bit into profit, and then I got stopped out, like I said. And then we're underneath the New York VWAP still. We're still underneath inside the opening range low, and I felt the desire to long it because, okay, we're really slowing down here. My shorts weren't really able to just move lower. I must have been on the wrong side because we failed to make a new low a day, not once, but twice over here. And now we're rejecting the low a day view up. I want to buy it. And then same thing, it comes back below my low a day view up. Like I was just selling it earlier and at the same price. So something in my mind is like, well, I kind of wanted to short it earlier and it's telling me to sell it again. Was I right the first time or just early? Why am I in this long? Because I shouldn't be in the long, right? Win or lose, I shouldn't be in this long. It doesn't fit my plan. If you see my new Futures 2.0 course, which is right on ASFX TV, I walk you through all my entry signals, and this isn't it. It's the lower day view up break over here with trend continuation. But first of all, there is no trend on this one. But the signal of the view up break, that is part of it. But on this one, it's really just hoping it bounces off this potential support area. And then I get spooked out because now it's maybe telling me to sell it, which deep down I thought I should have been anyways. So very quickly talked out of my trade, right? I don't like trades that I could very easily see both sides of the market because then something like this, I'll very easily be talked out of my move because I'm not super confident in it to begin with, right? So a little bit of drawdown is not being like, okay, we might be early. It still looks fine. In my mind, I'm saying, well, I don't think this is a good trade to begin with, so I probably shouldn't be in this. This doesn't look good. So then I pull my long. It actually would have came back up a little bit higher, so I didn't need to take that loss. But since I got out of that long, since I didn't think I should be in it, because it broke the lower day view up, telling me to sell it, I sold it a third time, like I did the past 2 times over here, because it's the same price. We're holding this level. We're below the New York VWAP here. Trend is more so bearish, although we can't get below the support. It's very choppy. So I sell it one last time and I get stopped out. So that first long would have maybe even worked out. That's just, I'm all over the place. I'm not seeing any ideas through. Nothing was really stopped out over here besides this last long. I got out of this long early, quickly back into a short, just very managing trades very quickly, all within a span of 10:53 to 11:50. It's been an hour. I've taken 4 losses, and that's how the losses pile up. So that's just very, very poor. And then to make it even worse, because we're all going to have these tilt days, I'm going to go over to NQ because it looks a little bit less choppy, but I still do see that support down there that I want to long it. So I get a long of it on the break back above lower day view up. Just pinned out because that's my luck today. I'm making my own luck though. I deserve all of this. But I get stopped out and that comes up just a little bit higher. Maybe not a quite 1 hour win, I'm not even sure. But just why am I jumping to NQ? I don't trade that asset. I just took 3, 4 losses on ES during all that chop. But the main lesson is when there's no trend like this, and I could easily see both sides, it's not ready to move yet, hands off the trigger. Not picking either direction. Either break for a new lower day, telling me shorts can in fact move lower. I'll look for a pullback and another re-entry. If this is in fact going to turn into a bullish day, break above the New York view up, start making higher highs and higher lows, then I'll believe you, then I'll find a long, right? And then let's take it to that Wednesday where I lost a little bit less, but this is the one last thing, the notes of all of them. Realistically, look how just sideways it is. It's not really that shorts aren't working and longs are working. It's really just chopping sideways that no matter where I bought it or sold it, it was tough to make money because I was doing all of it in the middle. Not selling it on the retest, buying it on the support. I was trading it right in the middle, getting a little bit of a follow through, and then quickly not, right? So this is now that Wednesday, same thing. New York Open, very, very choppy. We get a break above New York VWAP in blue here, but there's no real trend yet. So once that fails, all right, might have been early. We've seen this happen before when it wants to body outside of the zone and then get back inside. But you can see the entry I get in, it doesn't break above New York, so it's not telling me buyers are back in yet. So I shouldn't have been in this one. So same thing, I'm doubling down, taking 2 quick losses on the same idea when I probably should have just had one. And then I flip it to shorts because my longs aren't working, and it does go short. But you can see I get stopped out first because it wanted to pull back right into the middle of the range, all this chop, and then fall. And then the play to be in is the break over here, clearly. But at that point in time, I'm out of ammo. I've shot 3 times. I've taken 3 losses. I can't shoot anymore. I got no more risk to put on, so I have to just watch from the sidelines now and see the trending move happen without me. So, of course, the main lesson is definitely going to be the price action that I took. Very, very choppy, which is where I perform worst because there's no real breakouts working and happening for me. So I'm not going to see that continuation that I'm looking for. So anytime it comes back into the middle of the chop, I'm more willing to flip my bias when that shouldn't be the case. I trade best when I know my bias. It's screaming at me. Now it's just a matter of what time do I get in? When am I getting into this long bullish trend? I know I'm long in it, but when? But when it's like, okay, I want to sell it here. Oh, never mind. I want to buy it. Oh, actually, it kind of does look bearish. Let me sell it. I shouldn't be getting that much new information that quickly that it really sways my bias that easily. It should be clear shorts, clear longs. Now let me pick my spot. That's the first lesson by looking at all these choppy markups. That realizing I don't perform best in this, even from the open. No real lower highs or lower lows. So I don't even maybe need this short. And on top of that, with all these XFA accounts, I need to shrink down my max daily loss. That's how I physically shouldn't be able to lose this much in a given day, is because my max daily loss is $1,000 per account. So one thing I should say, it's 3,000. It was only 1,000 per account because I only copied to 3 accounts that day. Or if we click on it, what does it say? Right, just $200 here, another 5, 2, 5, 2. Right, so just copied accounts, but it still adds up. That my max daily loss needs to be shrunken down to 500 per day. Give me 2 swings at it, so I can't physically overtrade. I can't physically put on too much risk. It's going to lock me out if I start to maybe get on tilt, right? So thankfully on the Wednesday, I had shrunk it down. That's why I lost 2 grand and not 3, because I had lessened that max daily loss, keeping me in the game, keeping me fresh that I can still trade tomorrow, right? I don't want to blow my account on one day because I'm going to have these days where I just not feeling it. I feel rushed. I want to take stupid trades. So when those do happen, hopefully they happen less and less often. But when they do, have it lessen the damage for me. Saying, hey, you can't physically take more than $600 in losses. We'll stop you out before then. Right? So put on $200 of risk on each trade. After 3 losses, you're done. Come back tomorrow, survive another day, rather than keep swinging at it. And now you're down 1,000 today. You're down 1,200, 1,500, right? Then it's just setting you up to have a worse month ahead of you. Now you're digging yourself out of this hole. So that's the biggest lesson out of this one, as well as the price action, of course. I got to work on that. Got to sit on my hands better. But on top of that, watch your max daily loss. When you have these XFA accounts, I want to protect my capital. And if I'm willing to lose 3,000 in a day, or let's say 1,000 per account, well, then I should be making $1,000 per account on my green days. Otherwise, I'm going to need like 3 or 4 green days just to make back one max daily loss red day, right? So we got to have that risk reward a little bit closer to each other. So those are my 2 lessons. It sucks losing 5 grand in such a short amount of time, giving back all those profits from the weeks earlier. But we live from it. We learn from it. We make adjustments to it that I've now shrunken down my max daily loss. Hopefully now you could do the same. Take some lessons in it, recognizing the price action, recognizing the chop, as well as what's your max daily loss. If you haven't experienced this yet, maybe you want to think about is yours too big, right? Even if you haven't hit it before, maybe it is too large. You want to shrink that down. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like, give it a subscribe. And then I do have that few free futures course, Futures 101 on ASFX TV from Austin Silver. And then my new one will be coming out by November 1st. No doubt, I'll announce it here. First time announcing it. It'll be out by November 1st at the very latest. So stick with me. Maybe I'll tease a chapter of it coming up in the next week or so. But yeah, that'll be really good. That'll give all my entry signals, and you'll see no markups like that when it looks that choppy, because that's not what you should be trading or what I should be trading, right? So that's the type of stuff we want to avoid, and that's what we'll do moving forward, all right? Appreciate it. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you want some markups to be reviewed by me. Let's have a good trading week, all right? Thank you.